Hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Patera here with a quick video for you on how to make a fruit cobbler in your Dutch oven on a wood stove. This is very simple. I've actually adapted this recipe from an oven-ready recipe, and I've also changed the ingredients. So I did get the original recipe from Sweet Tea and Cornbread. Great site there, so I want to give thanks to them, but at the same time, we have totally adapted it. But it's a good enough recipe that you can do that. It's a basic cobbler recipe and with some yummy things added into it. And we decided, since we've had a lot of trouble with the power being out due to our huge ice storm, we are utilizing our wood stove as much as physically possible this week. It's going to be very cold. We're going to get down to below zero tomorrow and more snow on the way. So all that we're doing right now is we're really, truly trying to keep the wood stove cranked up. It's 89 degrees in the house. It's like 19 outside, so it's doing pretty good. This is, of course, our Liberty. Now we do have, and of course there's going to be ashes and wood and everything everywhere, so I have a 10-quart, very large Dutch oven on top. I'm letting it heat up. It will not take very long for this to heat up. The goal here is to get it heated and get it going, because the first thing I'm going to do when we get the video continually rolling is the first thing I'm going to do is to put an actual stick of butter in here, real butter. So that's going to be the first thing, but I wanted to show you what we were doing first. The actual recipe online, if you baked it in your regular oven, is 350 degrees. We've got the stovetop here going. It's around 360 to 370. So we are more than where we need to be right now. So we're just going to keep the fire going, getting this heated up. And now we're going to head to the kitchen and we'll get everything rolling, and we'll be back with you in just a moment. Alright guys, so we've got the Dutch oven heating on top of the wood stove. It's getting nice and ready for the cobbler. What we're going to do now is we're going to actually make the dough, if you will. Very easy. If you've ever made cobblers before, there's different variations of what I'm about to show you, and you just can't go wrong any time of year with it. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to take 1 cup of your self-rising flour. Okay, so if you want to get all-purpose and add in the baking powder and baking soda, have at it. But this is going to make it a little bit easier for you to prep. So I'm just going to put that in there. Then you're also going to add 1 cup of sugar. Now I use the organic sugar. You use what you prefer. So I'm going to place that in there. We're going to do that. Then we're going to add. We're going to add 1 cup of milk. Now, I'm using organic whole milk. That's what I use and prefer. Just going to place that in there. Trying to not. Now, you can hand mix this. I just got a KitchenAid for Christmas this year, so this is a new situation for me. And boy, that does make a big difference. They are very handy to have. So I named her Louise. She's doing a good job. So we're just going to mix those 3 things. We're just going to get it going in there. The only other things that you need to add is some flavoring. Now, the original recipe called for 2 teaspoons of almond and 1 of vanilla. I am not going to add nuts to this cobbler this time. This is going to be more of a plain Jane cobbler. So I'm literally just going to add 1 of each. I liked a little bit of flavor of the almond in there, the almond flavoring. So I'm just going to do 1 teaspoon this time. It smelled really good. We've already made this. We made it with cherries. And we added pecans. But tonight, I'm going to change it up, and I'm going to change it to with no nuts. That's a request by my youngest child. And I'm going to add in just a little less almond flavoring. Of course, I'm adding my own homemade vanilla. Boy, there's nothing like that. So all you're going to do is mix that, let it blend really, really good. You might want to scrape down the sides a little bit. Very simple. And we're going to move to the next phase. So just so you know, the next phase is going to involve your stick of butter, okay, 1/2 cup or a whole stick of butter. And you can use any type of fruit that you want. Peach, blueberry, strawberry, cherry, anything that you've canned yourself. We're cheating just a little bit. We've got kind of like the Comstock. I keep some of that on hand for ease for recipes. So what we're going to do is we're going to move to the next phase, and we'll let this blend just for about another 30 seconds, and we'll be right back with you. Alright guys, here we go. We're going to put the butter in. We're going to get that going. As you can see, cooking on a wood stove, this cast iron skillet has only been on here, not the cast iron skillet, cast iron Dutch oven has only been on this stove for about, I don't know, 10, maybe 15 minutes. And this is an entire stick of butter. It's very hot. I think we're registering a lot. So we may have to put this up on top of this, on the second level up here. You just got to keep an eye on it. We've learned that the quick and easy way, that you just got to kind of keep your eye on it, because you can't predict what the heat's going to be, the flames are going to be. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to add in the dough, if you will, or the cobbler. And I'm just going to go ahead and pour that in there. Okay? It's going to mix with the butter. I know you're getting me from the back side. You can't see. It's very, it looks very similar to pancake dough. Pancake batter, if you will. Okay? That's on there. And all I'm going to do next is my 221 ounces of Comstock. And you don't want to mix it. Once it's in there, once the batter is in there, you don't want to mix it. You just want to let it be. Now, this is strawberry. And I'm just setting it in there. Yeah, we're going to have to move this up to the second. I think our fire is a little bit hotter than last night's. But that's part of what learning how to cook on, wood heat. Wood stove is, it's not like a regular, convection oven in there. You are simply working with the elements. You're working with different types of wood, how you've packed the wood, how well the wood is burning. And I can tell you right now, it is HOT. So, last night when we cooked the first one, I will tell you right now that it cooked for just a little bit over an hour. The recipe, if you want to put it in your regular oven, in a 9x13, by the way, pan. So you would do it the same way. You would let the butter melt in the bottom of the 9x13, and then you would put in the exact ingredients for your batter, if you will. Then you're just going to plop on your fruit. If you add nuts, you'll put the nuts right on top of this fruit. I am not at this point. You're going to bake it for about 50 to 55 minutes at 350 in your regular oven, okay? Got a little batter up there, but I don't know more about it. Obviously, we're working with a different situation here. So we're going to let this cook. I'm going to check it. The dough gets real firm. It's a lighter color, so it's not like it's going to turn this dark golden brown. Ours didn't last night. So I'm going to put the lid on. We're going to set the timer. We're going to let it cook. I'm expecting anywhere from 50 to 60 minutes, but we'll check that. We'll see how it turns out. And I got vanilla ice cream to go on top tonight, so this is going to be good. We'll be back with you. We'll see how it turns out. All right, guys, we're back. Final product. The stove got so incredibly hot, we had to move the Dutch oven. Now, this is a Dutch oven that has legs. So that was kind of acting as its own little trivet, if you will. So if you're going to be, if you camp a lot, you probably have a Dutch oven that has the legs, so therefore it's not right into the coals. So we do have several different Dutch ovens, but this is the largest one. So this is the one I went with. And we were on the lower portion of the Liberty, and it got over 500 degrees. When I first started prepping for the video, it was around 250 or whatever, and we put some more wood in. And within, 15 minutes or something, just really quick, the wood is so good that, and it's so efficient that we registered over 500 degrees. So after we got that started and I realized how hot it was, I had to take the Dutch oven up to the back portion of the actual, or the top shelf of the low pie, which was at 400 degrees. So the bottom line is when you're using cast iron and when you're working with fire and wood stoves, you've got to just modify how you're cooking, because you don't want to burn this, and it may cook faster. And if you have any experience in that, So, and that's part of the learning experience here, is we're trying to do it more and more so that we learn exactly how to become more efficient and just to make things really good. So we're going to find out. It smells great. Now, since I had to move it from the lower portion to the higher portion, I only cooked it for about 40 minutes. So if it's a little bit doughy, if it's a little bit doughy, we're going to go with it, because I'd rather have that than it burnt. So that's just what we're going to go with. All right, you ready? I can smell it. It smells like strawberries. It smells so good. So we're going to lift it up. Now, this is these fire gloves that I've got. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. Oh my goodness, we're gonna have fun with this. Now I sat it in, we made homemade pizzas before this, so I just grabbed this. There's, if you see crumbs in there, I made several homemade pizzas tonight. We've been working all day, hence the crazy coveralls and whatnot. So let's just see how this turned out. It's very hot, as you can imagine. And we're just gonna plop it right on in there. Oh, it's cooked really nice. Look at that. Fully cooked. You can see the strawberries. You can tell I like desserts. And I like this too. So we're going to plop that right on there. This would be great with blackberry. I love blackberry. And we're going to try to get some ice cream going. Nice vanilla bean. Give you a nice plop right on top of there. And there you have it. Strawberry cobbler. Now remember, if you're cooking this in the oven, you use the exact same recipe that I made, I showed you in terms of how to make the batter, okay? You still use 2 cans of your Comstock or whatever, that was 21 ounces each. Everything is the same. The only difference between the Dutch oven to here is that you're going to set your oven on 350. You're going to melt your butter in the 9x13. We melted it in the Dutch oven. And you cook it for about 50 to 55 minutes or so at 350. We were a little bit higher of a temperature, so that's why we shortened our time, but I think we're going to enjoy this cold weather tonight. Y'all take care. Be sure to subscribe to us here at Appalachia's Homestead on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook, and we have Instagram and our blog, and we just appreciate y'all, and y'all stay warm out there, and we'll talk to y'all soon. We're going to enjoy this tonight.